What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you my kind of process, I guess, for turning a cartoon character into some like disgusting detailed like painting, kind of like what you see in, I don't know, SpongeBob uses it sometimes, or like Adventures of Flapjack, stuff like that, where I don't know, there'll be like some reverse shot and the cartoon character will be like incredibly just detailed and, I don't know, gross, with like chapped lips and, I don't know, like boogers coming out, like gross stuff like that. And this is basically what I did today. So I took this little cartoon character that I made for an animation, and ended up, how I start my process personally. You can kind of like build off your process or change it if you want. Just kind of use this as like a, I don't know, inspiration or some kind of guideline, however you want to think of it. But I ended up just drawing the cartoon character kind of how he would normally look, and my cartoon characters are already pretty gross looking. They got a lot of like folds and bags and very strange looking things because I'm kind of a deranged cartoonist. But anyway, we draw him out and then start blocking in your colors. Now it's important to start to think about your values like early on. Think of where the light is going to be hitting. I think as I paint this, I end up deciding the light will come from the left, so that the right side will be more in shadow and more of the highlights kind of go into the left side. So I kind of start by blocking out with the darker colors first, the darker tones, and then I like to kind of build my way up, just getting these like super rough initial colors in, which is everything that I have up to this point. And then you start going in, making your brush size smaller and smaller until you can get more and more fine details. And as you keep going, your details get more and more intricate. So yeah, here I'm adding like veins to the eyes, bags like under his eyeballs, under his skin, under his chin, that just really look disgusting. And now going into the lips, what I kind of wanted to do with the lips was like, I don't know if you've seen that meme of Jay-Z where his lips are super chapped, because that went around for a while, like a few years ago. But I tried to emulate that. So yeah, I'm drawing kind of cracks and weird little divots in his lips because anything that helps to make the painting more unsettling, which is what we're going for. So I decided to add an upper lip, and kind of when you take cartoon characters and, I don't know, add more human styled characteristics into them when they shouldn't, it ends up looking a lot more interesting. Because like when you have if you're drawing a cartoon character, say you're drawing a young cartoon character, if you like draw, I don't know, if you draw all the lines, little lines of, you know, under your eyes and the, I don't know, little dip right above your lips, in between your lips and your nose, or the lines in between the character's teeth, it's, as a cartoon, it's going to look really weird and kind of, I don't know, it's going to make them look older, it's going to make them look uglier, it's going to make them look just strange overall. So if you're drawing a cartoon that's supposed to be like a cute cartoon or a normal cartoon, it's obviously not what you want to go for. But for this is kind of exactly what we do want to go for. So for this, I'm adding lips with like insane detail on them, and I'm adding eyelids right here, and little eye boogers that are kind of, I don't know, seeping over his eyelids, and then little mismatched kind of messed up eyebrows that are all tangled, or not eyebrows but eyelashes, as it goes through, and it makes it kind of look more like he's a normal human being, like that's just doesn't take care of himself and is shaped really weird. Just kind of comes down to the shape being different. It's more of a cartoony shape. So now here, as I'm kind of rendering it out, and that's pretty much all that it is. After you draw the cartoon, which drawing the cartoon character is kind of the easy part if you already have that character made up. You just draw it, and then it's all down to blocking out your colors, then rendering. So yeah, here now we're going through and flipping. I kind of started by rendering out the entire right side to make sure it's more of a look that I wanted. So now I'm gonna kind of manually copy that over to the other side so that it fits better, rendering out the hair. And I actually, when it comes to the hair on the right side, I rendered it out too light to start off with. So later I'll be going back in to darken that side up, since that's supposed to be the side that's more in shadow. And also for things like this, higher contrast lighting also seems to be a bit more... it's kind of ironic in a sense because it's a cartoon character, yet you're rendering it out like it's this super dramatic, kind of high contrasty, almost like it's in a horror movie or something, which I think helps add to the style that we're going for. So this isn't super high contrast, and I've definitely done more high contrast works, but for what it is, it's fairly high contrast, which just helps. And here, as I'm rendering in his hair, I thought giving him more of kind of like a widow's peak would help with just, I don't know, I guess weird little humanistic like characteristics, but also making it just look strange. Adding in little highlights on the eyeballs, because he's got these weird yellow, like sickly eyeballs. They're not anywhere close to white, but they're still gonna be shiny if the light's hitting them. And so I have the light kind of shining as if it's coming in from the left side. And then just adding little, it's really just little white circles of varying height. I usually like to put one white by the pupil, that helps, and it just kind of makes the eyes pop and look more like they exist in the space. So yeah, here I actually pause a little bit. I was probably messing with one of my references or something, but anyways, also going in and taking I put little scratches like on his nose, you can see on his chin, just kind of roughing it up and trying to make it look more like it's an actual tangible texture, like a tangible item that you can hold. Like his skin is actually been like weathered, and but just kind of subtle stuff. I didn't want to go too overboard with it. I actually completely forgot to draw a nose on him, because like the character has like a small little cartoon nose. But when I was drawing it, I ended up like not doing a nose at all, which is a mistake on my part. Now as we're kind of closing it up, I decided to put in an actual human ear, or actually both of these human ears. I flip it over, but this kind of, I don't know, calling back to some elements or some scenes in SpongeBob, I think specifically where they'll have SpongeBob's hands like a close-up, and they're real human hands, and they're like dyed yellow or like just color adjusted to be yellow, which I always thought was super interesting, and like just weird and kind of jarring. So I thought it would fit to put an ear in. Photoshop wasn't working for me right now. I had to like restart it, but that's why I keep getting this error pop-up message. But yeah, also back to talk about the lips. I added a little like scabby, crusty kind of lips at the bottom that I thought really kind of sold it, like right kind of where the lip meets the normal skin. So here I'm playing around with the ear again because Photoshop was just not complying. But anyways, yeah, this is pretty much the conclusion of the drawing. So if you want to kind of, I don't know, go along with this, or if this inspired you, then just use this as a little kind of tips and tricks style thing. This is just my process. So now here I'm flipping the ear back over. And then at the end, I end up, not recorded, but I end up color adjusting the entire image I color adjust the ears first to fit to the color scheme of the character himself. But then after the entire painting process is over, I kind of do some color adjustments to help add more contrast and kind of finalize the way I want the colors to look. I also go and add some little some more eye boogers on his left eye. But yeah, so this is basically the finished product. Hope you enjoyed and can go make your own like disgusting monsters of cartoon characters.